Let's see if it's any good. It's got HSW, so it's probably one of the more interesting ones. I actually quite like the look of this.
HSW, baby, let's go.
Right. We'll upgrade it. No front bumper option, which is a bit weird. Let's see what that's about later on. Just going to go with the big bore exhaust. In fact, what's the stock one like? You know what? The stock exhaust is actually better. I'm just going to go with the stock one. I keep being boring, but the stock one is actually the best. It's a bit weird how everything's a bit hexagonal. Probably going to go with that one because it's the hardest to see that it's there. I mean, it looks a bit weird. If I do this, look, there is actually things there. It just looks a bit pixelated, doesn't it? Because of the texture. Looks a bit weird from, you know, this far back. We'll go with that. Simple hood. I'm going to do it. In fact, it's more like a... It's like a Subaru sort of thing, this, isn't it? So I might keep this... I'm not going to keep the stock one on. I'm going to put the simple one on. Never mind. I keep being boring, but... Liveries. There you go, look. These ones are alright. Not too bad. HSW mirrors. Look a bit weird. Rear bumpers. Surely there's got to be front bumpers. Tuner bumper. Probably going to go with the tuner bumper. Not really changing too much. Rear diffuser. You know what? This advert needs to go away as well. You know what? I might come back to that. I want to see the other options first. I'm not really liking too much with this. I'll put the simple skirt on just to try and match, you know, the whatever that is, like the lip on the front bumper. We can change it, by the way. Probably make it more minimal. I'm probably going to change it to match that, in fact, the side skirt I just put on. And some of these are getting a bit more wacky. In fact, I can do more with it now. Now I know those pieces exist. Right, rear diffuser. We'll go and put the sports diffuser on. And then side skirts, we could do something a bit more now. We've got those options on. Maybe something like that. Is there a bigger one? Nah. I'm going to put that one on. Right, so I've actually done something this time. Rather than just keeping it fully stock. But sometimes you've got to see what's on there before you can, you know, properly customise it. Rather than just going one by one and picking apart, because you're not sure what you're going to be able to do. Right. Look, all this is doing is changing the colour, and it's altering the traction. It's annoying when it does this. Because I want that, but I can't. Let's go with that. Got to change the secondary colour now. If this hasn't got a trim colour, by the way, I'm going to be disappointed. I think it might be, because it doesn't look like there's a trim colour. Right, let's have a look then. No, it hasn't. Why? Why did they do this? All of the interiors. I know it's because they reuse interiors, but come on. In fact, I've not changed the wheels. Never mind, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me change this real quick. Like 5s and white. I know I keep doing the same for the wheels, but... Right, let's respray. You know what? I'm feeling something a bit different. Olive green. Shall we go with olive green? We'll go with olive green. And then we'll change the pearlescent to maybe something a bit more saturated. Maybe I was going to say this. Dew yellow. We'll go with dew yellow. And that's that. So, honestly, the customisation's not too bad. It could have been better, but Let me just take a screenshot. How do you get the car wash? I'm not sure, mate. I've not checked anything out like that just yet. I'm just checking out the vehicles at the minute.